3D guides in Hexagon allow you to work more precisely in both increments and distance measurements, using the background grid to constrain to. Now there are several tools in Hexagon that automatically use this 3D guide system, like the snap align or symmetry. As mentioned in previous chapters, you can hold down the Shift key to aid in locking to a certain vertex on your geometry in your 3D scene. So to demonstrate this 3D grid restraint in action, I'm going to apply it to drawing out a simple primitive cube. To start with, we need to activate this 3D guides, and to do this we click on this icon here. Once we've activated it, next time we go to use something like the 3D cube and try to drag this out, you can see that it's restraining to this ruler that we've got here on the screen. Now we can actually increase and decrease the actual increments of this ruler by pressing the numeric keys minus and plus. By pressing the minus key, you can see that it's locking it right down. The plus key allows you more freedom between the grid space. When working with the 3D guides, we can also use it for the lines tools. This enables us to really be precise within where we actually put our lines. This is great for floor plans of houses and things like that. If you just cast your eyes down to the bottom left here, you can see that we've got these three icons. These are further constraints that allow you to actually constrain it to the X and the Y, or just the X, or just the Y by itself. You can also activate these by using the spacebar. Now we can only move in the Y-axis, although at the moment we're actually looking at it from the top view, so in fact we're actually moving it in the Z-axis. And now we're working on both the X and the Z. Now this 3D guide system automatically works according to your work plane as well. So you can see here that we're looking from the top view. If we were to go to the perspective view, you can see here that automatically the ruler system is changing to highlight that we are only working between the X and the Y axis. When we rotate to the top view, however, we can see that no longer is the Y axis available because it simply is impossible from this actual angle. So now we can only work in the Z and the X. Now looking down at one more feature that we've got for this 3D guide system, you can see that we've got this like magnet attached to looks like a cube icon here. If we just click on this, you can see that we've started to get a list of options here, and these lists goes right off the screen. What this list does is enables you to tell Hexagon what we want to be able to lock to. Now this is a setting for all of the tools that use any kind of snapping. So at the moment we've just got points and edges. We've also got just off the screen here one called snap on half edge, snap on 1/3, 1/4 and to faces. So let's just turn all of these off and so I can demonstrate this. To demonstrate this, I'm going to be using the Facet Tool because this uses this specific feature. You notice that when I'm getting close to this cube that I can't lock to the actual vertex on the corner. Even if I hold down the Shift key, it's making no difference. Now if I go back down here and actually turn on points, now when I hold the Shift key it enables me to lock to specific points. But what it doesn't do is enables me to lock to an edge. Therefore if I click and select edges, now I can actually lock to an edge. You can see here that I can actually lock to anywhere along this edge. I can start building a facet specifically from this edge now. Now if we wanted to have more control, we can say that snap to bears a half of the edge. So we can click on this, and now we can actually snap to the half of that edge. We've also got 1/3 and 3/4, so we've got a lot of control over this 3D guide system. Also we can snap to faces.